I just watched an amazing NDE video on YouTube, and it just triggered a memory for me of when I lived in Polokwane before I moved back to the farm, and then I want to share it with you about Nathan. TikTok, I think it's the makeup right, or it makes you look like hot and sweaty, and I look hot and sweaty, and I'm totally not. Anyway, so we were financially very tight, and I think I had $10 in my wallet. So I walked with Nathan to the shop, and I said to him, "We can have the $10, buy yourself a jockey." Just one of those little spazza shops, you know, with cheap chappies and sweeties and whatever. So he took the $10 and he spent R5 on some cheapy chocky, and then another $5 on chappies. And then we started walking home. The shop was just up the road. And then we were almost home, and then I looked around and I saw that he had walked back. And I saw he was talking to Elizabeth, who's a homeless lady, struggling with HIV. And it was winter, so it was like hardcore. And he was just chatting to her. And then when he came back, he was like, "I had to give it to her, Mom. I couldn't not give it to her." And he had kept 2 chappies for himself, and he had given Elizabeth the rest of the chappies and the chocolates. And in that moment, I realized that God had given me my second angel. First angel is my eldest son. He had not just given me a child, he had given me an angel. And I got to see his true self, his higher self in action. It wasn't even a big deal for him, you know, to be generous and to be kind. And it wasn't the only time. And he doesn't make a big deal out of it. He's very stoic, Nathan. Look, he's a drama llama too, but his acts of generosity run deep for him. And then when we got home, and I was just like, my heart was just like flowers. He went to the kitchen, and I think we had half a loaf of bread. It's all we had. And he put some peanut butter on the bread. And I said, "Are you hungry? I can make some eggs or something." He's like, No, I'm taking this to Elizabeth. And he took the sandwiches to her. And we didn't have food at home. And he gave that half a loaf of bread with peanut butter on to this lady, just reminding me of what is important in life. It's relationships. It's how you treat people. And it's especially important when you're going through the shit and somebody is being as toxic as fuck. How you treat them back matters. Right? How you treat them back matters. Your forgiveness of their behavior matters. It doesn't excuse it, but it doesn't excuse behavior, but it means that you're seeing the God particle in that human. And you're honoring the God particle in that human, because their God particle is your God particle. So when you are forgiving someone for hurting you, and it's been a lot, you are forgiving yourself too. When you are forgiving yourself, you are forgiving other people. When you are choosing to put yourself first, you are choosing the other person. And it's a hard bit of for the mind to grasp that, because we see duality, you and me and the dogs, the tree and me. We see duality. The egoic mind, the conceptual mind, sees the split. It sees, that was the Garden of Eden, it sees the split. But that split is an illusion. When you are kind and you are kind despite what someone's done to you, and you are not any longer holding who their ego says they are against them, you set them free to be so much more. Because every thought form, every action, every word is an energy form, right? And when you speak death over a person or over yourself or over an energy form attaches to that person, and that person becomes exactly what you think they are, right? So choosing your thoughts and renewing your mind are so important. I'm sharing this today on the day that I'm moving into my new home, and it's been a journey, 15 years in total. Anyway, sending love. Cheers.